Yes, yes, yes. That caught me off guard. I don't know why. Caught me off guard and I don't know why. Un momento. Mommy, slow your tempo. Where we at? Where we at? Where are we at? Where are we at? Okay, I think we're here. Are we? Nope, that's not the one. That could be the one. That could be the one. Okay. Hello and welcome to the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. Hello and welcome. It's the original wrap-up show. Don't settle for any fake imitations, which are a mere figment of your imagination. Okay, it's the original one. Boxing Talk with Rafi. And what we got on the menu? What we got on the menu? Check 1. Check 2. Okay, let's fix the screen. Boom, boom. Oh, not that. Yeah. Boom. Let's make sure it looks right on the screen. Okay. Hello and welcome. What are we talking about today? Have I got a list? Nah. Yes. In my head. It's a bunch of things. Only for things, I focus bag of things. Let's get, what is that? Oh Lord. It's the wrong time. Oh goodness gracious me. Goodness gracious me. Mr. Bashir, how do you do? I'm good, my friend. I'm good. I just started my live show. Why don't I send you the link and you jump on? Yeah, I'll send you the link. I'll send you the link. Okay. 1 second, 2 seconds. Okay, I'll send it via WhatsApp. Okay. All right. Okay. That was the legendary trainer of Vladimir Klitschko, understudy of that wasn't a setup, by the way. That was real. That was real. Understudy of the great Emmanuel Stewart. See Iron Kong waiting patiently in the background. I'm just going to send him the link right now. Bloody hell. Bloody hell. How do I do that now? How do I send that to WhatsApp? Jeez Louise. I've had a brain freeze. Jeez Louise. I've had a brain freeze. Well, it's right there on. It's right there on. Hold on a second. Oh yeah, let me just send him. Oh yeah, I'll just send him the. Okay, okay, folks, be patient. We might have a legendary trainer on, as well as myself and the Iron Kong.
Now, once the trainer come on, I'll hop off. Let me just listen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. How am I gonna do this again? Well, I think it's on. I think it is on. All right, let me check.
Damn, why you put Homer Simpson on this man's face?
It's the multiracial Homer Simpson, interracial.
And who is that? Philly on the
Philly.
far right there. Who's that fine Philly on the right far right? Who's this
Well,
lady?
well, I just wanted to correct any misunderstandings of last week's show, any misinterpretation. You know what I'm saying? Just in case anybody. Did you catch the rest of the show?
No, what happened last week when I got off? What happened?
Oh wow! Oh wow! Oh wow! Well, we started a discussion on a rather large but shapely woman, and we had a debate. We had a debate on that large and lovely lady, but just in case anybody thought that was my type, I just thought I'd correct them. You know what I'm saying? So this is the correction.
So we were talking about Mampy size woman.
Yes, very large.
So you wanted to make it clear that Raphael Dawkins,
Yes,
in no way, shape, or form,
no shape or form,
in any Mampy size woman.
Well, no, that's not what I was saying. I was saying that at certain times, when you've had a drink or two,
oh no,
then you open up your horizon sometimes, and you might go over to that side. You know what I'm saying? But
Mampy
this is that. Yes, you might go Mampy. You might when you go to McDonald's or something, you decide at the last minute, I think I'll go large.
Yeah. You really walking like I'll have a small Coke or something.
Yes.
Then you go and say, nah, I'll have the large.
Yeah, let me go large. Let me just this once, just for a change.
Let me live a little.
Yeah, let me go large. Let me go large.
It's only 50 cents more.
Exactly. What's it gonna cost? Press that link, and it will take you. It will bring you to to YouTube. Oh, YouTube. And YouTube, bring you to the YouTube, bring you to YouTube, bring it to YouTube. All right, that's enough. That's enough. Press that link and it'll bring it to YouTube. That's step one. Um, step one. Step if let me just write down no pressure. Let me just say if not this time, no worries. Let me just add that. I don't like to pressure people. He just rang for a call and I dropped it on him like that. If not this time, no probs. If not this time, then next. And the next. I don't like to pressure people. I don't like people feel like they're under pressure. Okay, there we go. There we go. Press that link. And if not this time, next time. Okay, I'm happy with that. And that's fair and reasonable. But I know he and I were talking about this topic, so I'm fairly confident that it's about this. Fairly confident it's a bit about this topic. I've dated a couple of holy on figure straight in. I've dated a couple of stunning plus size women. Some sisters can really hold that shape in the right places. I know that Dion Kong will strongly agree with you there. Strongly. OMG. Okay, let me just go through the register. The Leon Figures is up in the building. The Adari Pennant is up in the building. What does he go here? Joyce needs to use the cross-arm guard to protect himself. TKO 22 up in the building.
Joyce needs to just move his bloody head.
Yeah.
That's it, Rafi. Just move your head, partner.
Yeah, just move your damn head. I watched that fight again yesterday, and then I watched it again just this evening while I was eating my dinner. And I got some interesting observations. Peace be unto you and the whole Combat Radio Nation. What else we got in here? Yes. What goes around comes around. Look what Joyce did against Daniel Dubois. And Zilly Zhang did the same to Joe Joyce. Apparently, very similar outcome. I mean, he stopped him because of the eye. He got stopped because of the eye. But apparently, in this particular instance, Joe Joyce, with his increased bone density, didn't suffer a fracture. So apparently, he's fracture free. So he'll have less time. Well, he won't require as much time for recuperation as Daniel Dubois did for rehab. No broken bones, apparently, the Iron Kong.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
You never want to see nobody with no injuries like that. I mean, Dubois luckily came back. Billy Joe, I don't know if he'll ever come back. Who knows? But we know how eye injuries go. And Kell Brook, same thing.
Yeah.
Before that, it was Ogogo or something. His eye never. Wasn't it Anthony Ogogo or something? He was caught anyway. He was I think it was a former British boxer at one time.
Oh, I can't remember. That one.
Anyway, so he also had an eye injury, but I'm glad to hear Joe is not injured or nothing like that, because you're dealing with somebody's quality of life outside the ring in his regular life.
Yeah.
We don't want that. However, the issue for him now, I think you have it up there. Who's next for Joe Joyce? I think Joe kind of rematch, because there ain't no big fights out there other than that for Joe. There ain't no big fights. And I mean, is Joe Joyce going to take some kind of tune-up again? Because, I mean, at his age, he himself is almost 40 years old.
Yeah. 38, I think. 37, 38.
he should be pushing for only big fights because pretty much his career is done. You
Well,
know, 37, 38, pretty much this is when people start wrapping it up, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
he's just coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So he should only be pushing for big tough fights.
100%, 100%. And there we go. And we have the the Leon Figures. Leon Figures, we haven't seen him in a while, but guess who's back? It's the unveiling.
Peace, Mr. Dawkins. Peace, Mr. Kong. Peace to the chat. Mic check, mic check. How am I sounding there? How am I sounding?
You're sounding good, nice and clear, but I forgot to do my traditional thing, which is to make sure that everything is copacetic on the YouTube. So let me just cut the music for 1 second and do a little mic check on the YouTubes. Let's have a listen. Just cut the music for 1 second and
peace, Mr. Dawkins. Peace, Mr. Kong. Peace to the chat. Mic check, mic.
Who else we got in here? Yes. I'm happy with that. That's nice and clear. Okay, Mr. Figures.
Treble on the amplifier.
The equalizer.
The equalizer, yeah. You turn the treble.
Let's turn up the treble. Let's turn up the treble a little bit. Too much bass in the place. Mr. Figures, good to hear from you again. We've seen you in the chat, but we haven't had the pleasure of you on the live panel. So it's a good day.
Yes, it is. It's been a minute. I've just been working so hard. It's haven't always had the time. I'm always listening, just haven't had the time to always fire up the laptop and make sure there's a good sound quality and give the show the full attendance, that the full attention that a panelist is required to.
Wow.
But after that Saturday bout, I felt compelled. That was a damn good Saturday night fight card. And they really should put more of these on. Less of these on pay-per-view. This actually encouraged me to sign up to BT Sport. And it's just a hope that it encouraged many more people so that Frank Warren, Eddie Hearn, all of them realize. I'll give Bob Arum his credit. He hasn't been shoving everything behind pay-per-view, but they've got to put less of these fighters behind the pay-per-view paywall and more with your regular subscription, and it will increase it. When they put on good fights with good fighters, let us see without having to be put off by having to pay pay-per-view fights for people that are not pay-per-view worthy. I would gladly, now I've seen that fight, I would gladly watch pay-per-view for a rematch, because that was a damn entertaining fight, and there was intrigue to see Joyce make the necessary changes that would be needed for him to be victorious against Zhilei Zhang.
Yeah. Well, I posed the question. Let me see if I can. Hold on. Let me pin that. Okay, I posed the question. Let me go into the YouTubes. Let me see if anyone's responded yet, because I did it a couple of hours ago. Let's see. Oh, we have had some respondents. How many? Okay, that's worth showing. So let's bring up the question, because you just brought up a point regarding pertaining to what? Stop screen. Had I started the screen? Pertaining and regarding rematches. Is that up on my screen yet? Let me get it a little bit bigger, resize that. Okay, I think that's clear now, or should be. Kinda. Okay, and in the wake, he reads, in the wake of his surprise win over Joyce, who would you like to see Zhilei Zhang fight next? And provided 4 options, pretty much the top 3. Top 3? Is Deontay Wilder in the top 3? I don't know, but anyway, pretty much a top 3, a version of a top 3. And Filip Hrgović, who was vocal today, had some very harsh words for Frank Warren, who was very critical of him. What did Hrgović say? Hrgović said, well, Frank Warren, you talk about me, you tell me that I was no good. Well, go and You. Maybe now you'll see. Now you'll see that I was better than you said I was. You and your hype jobs over there. I like Joe Joyce. He's a nice guy. But Frank Warren, now you'll see. Now you'll see. So that's why Philip Hergovic is on the list. If anybody can't see the screen right now, I'll read out the options. Option 1 was Tyson Fury. Of course, you can come up with your own options. 1 was Tyson Fury. 2, Anthony Joshua. 3, Deontay Wilder. 4, Philip Hergovic. Tyson Fury currently sitting at 25%. Anthony Joshua at 50%. Deontay Wilder 0%. And Philip Hergovic 25%. It's funny. It's funny because I've been on the old Twitter. And I've seen people saying, yeah, you should fight Anthony Joshua next. He should fight Anthony Joshua next. And then we'll see. You'll batter Anthony Joshua. You'll batter him. I think my. Just a little while ago, they were saying he's going to be a Philip Hergovic. Yeah, nice little warm up for Anthony Joshua. Nice little warm up. Nice little tick over job. And now we got some naysayers saying that Hergovic, this guy Zili Zong. Well, actually, they're pronouncing Zong. Apparently, I'll call him what they say it is, Zili Zong. They're saying now Zili Zong. Some people are now saying Zili Zong will batter Anthony Joshua. Would you care to give your opinion on who you think he should fight next, and then address the battering Anthony Joshua argument? That's you, Leon Figures.
Zili Zhang, I'm a fan of the rematch.
Okay.
I know it's not a popular one. That was such a fun fight. I would really like to see it again, especially if Joe Joyce really had some minerals. Frank Warren, I think he will do it. I think Joe Joyce is the unwanted stepson of Queensberry, with Daniel Dubois being the golden child.
Yes,
I think he would sell him up the Beijing River or Macau, send him in front of the China's version of Vegas.
Yeah. If
Joe Joyce is willing, send him in there for some of those. I don't know what the currency in China is. Yeah. But send him for some of that Chinese money, and Joe Joyce gets paid. Queensberry gets paid. The fight, the fans get paid with another great fight. I really think he should fight Joe Joyce again in an immediate rematch. It's I know people are saying that there's not, that they don't expect Joyce to be able to make too many changes, but he's capable of boxing differently. Right. I think he just underestimated Zili Zhang, and he made some fundamental mistakes when fighting a southpaw. And with nothing can focus the mind than having your eye punched into the point where it closed. So he would definitely take the rematch seriously. Every spar would be taken seriously. Every training session would be taken seriously. Every comment saying that he's overrated and the stuff we were saying, there's no such thing as an iron chin, etc. That will fuel him. And I'd like to see him. But then at the same time, Zili Zhang in China, surrounded by his native Chinese people, fueling the flames of Chinese power, he will look to be even more destructive. He will have quicker hands. Right. He will have an extra 5 or 10% in every punch. And I think it would be a brilliant slugfest of a boxing match. I mean, Joe Joyce would try to slip and move, or he might just try and close the pocket a bit more. I'm just looking. I would really look forward to that. There are so many permutations, and even if it's the same again, that would be another fun fight to watch. I'm just a really big fan of the immediate rematch. So much more that I don't even want to put the others. What I would like to see after that. I hope he goes for the immediate rematch.
That's certainly one option. The immediate rematch, I must say, those rounds went by so fast. It was crazy. It was like, it felt like 2 minute rounds. There was so much action, so much surprise that I watched it about 3 times, and each time, each round seems like a 2 minute round. It's crazy, yo. The Iron Kong, your thoughts and observations about what next for Joe Joyce? What's next for Zilly Zhang?
I think. Oh, hold on. Sorry.
Yeah.
I think like I said before, I think the rematch should happen. Both Zhang is apparently he's firmly with Queensberry right now. His matchroom ran out.
Yes.
Queensberry gave him a deal, so it should be the fight to make. I don't think Joe Joyce has much options really at the moment. There ain't no more big fights available for Joe. What's Joe gonna do? I mean, go back and start fighting 8 rounders and stuff like that. Yeah, that don't make sense to me. So if I could, if Joe would just move his head,
Yeah.
which has been his issue for a while, he does not move his head. Anybody he fights tends to catch him a lot. He really doesn't plan out the head move. Right? If he would just move his head, he would be all right. Because Zhang himself is not blisteringly fast. He's not like Zhang is some flash in the ring. He's not like he's some fancy footwork people. I mean, he's somebody who stands in front and throws his hands. So, I'm not sure what Joyce trained for the last time or who he was training for, but it could not have been a southpaw with power. It couldn't have been. It's a very winnable fight for Joe. But I'm I'm not sure what Frank Warren has, because I personally don't think Frank particularly cares for Joe Joyce. I think he just kind of got stuck with him because Daniel beat him. Because if Daniel Dubois had beat Joe Joyce would not be a Queensberry fighter. That's my opinion. I think he got stuck with Joe, and he didn't know. He was like, okay, you know what? Let me just work with this man. You know, he are winning some fights, but Frank Warren wanted Daniel Dubois to be his guy. Which is why Daniel Dubois is fighting for a title before Joe Joyce.
Yeah.
And like Leon said, maybe they're sending to China. And Chinese currency is the yuan.
Yeah.
Maybe they're sending to China, fight in the bird's nest over there, that huge stadium.
Yeah.
And whatnot. So it'll be a big fight, but more than likely they'll try, bring it back to England, which I think Zhang should try and get it in China.
Yeah.
You saw how much people they say watch that fight? Hundreds of millions of people.
How much?
That fight.
How many?
Like hundreds of millions, like millions, hundreds of millions of people watch the fight.
Wow.
I mean, it's easy. So Zhang should fight Joyce again. Why not? Try get it in China. Bring a fight to China, because if he doesn't get this fight in China, he's not gonna get no fight in China. Because now he has the actual power to get this fight, and it means something. It means something. Either this fight, I'll get the Horgovich fight. Who knows? In China, because Horgovich said he'll go to China for the fight. So in my opinion, Joyce should, if Zhang is smart, he would say, let's go to China and fight. Does Frank Warren want to do an international fight? Who knows?
I can't see the Hergovich fight happening solely because he's with Matchroom and he's in line for a title shot. So the only way that Queensville would make that with Hergovich and Zhang is if Queensbury would have had options if Hergovich wins. And I can't see Matchroom allowing Hergovich, if he signed up to a deal with them actually, to swap over to Queensbury if he wins, when they can just sit there, match him up with somebody else and get a title shot.
Yeah.
Because it's because he's in line, he's number 2 in line, the second mandatory in the queue.
Yeah.
He does have some weight. There is a potential title fight that could bring in his promoter some money. So I just think there's a bit of complications with making the Hergovich Zhang fight, which I think Hergovich knows. which I think is why he's a bit so gung ho with calling it out. It's not very likely to happen. It would be great for the division because it would 2 mandatories will take each other out.
Yeah.
So there'll be 1 less mandatory.
Yeah.
I just can't see it happening promotionally.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. So that's why I say pretty much the Joyce fight need to happen again, because for neither guy, they don't have no fight lined up. They don't have no big fights waiting, because WBO mandatory is after the IBF mandatory, which is further bit. So Zhang is sitting around, just fight each other again.
Well, I think that when we look at who's next for, well, let me address what I want to do. I want to address Hergovic. I mean, not Hergovic, Billy Zong, Zili Zong. I want to address Zili Zong versus Joyce. I want to address that fight. Then I'll get into the other elements. Well, first and foremost, I think there was. Joyce is known for not moving his head, yes, but once he tasted Daniel Dubois' venom, he moved his feet, and he moved his feet very well. So we know that he's been in situations before where he's felt some venom and he's put his dancing shoes on. He found his dancing feet, because that's what he did against Daniel Dubois. So we know he can do that. If Zili Zhang were not a southpaw, then it is my contention that Joe Joyce would have been fine if Zhang were not a southpaw. The problem that Joyce faced here was that he was dealing with a southpaw, hadn't dealt with a southpaw since his fourth professional fight, but he had dealt with plenty of southpaws in the amateur. Richie Woodall came out and said, hold on, we've dealt with this style many, many a time. Joe Joyce knows how to deal with this style, knows how to deal with the southpaw. But so I don't know what happened. It's crazy to me. I can't rationalize it. That's what Richie Woodall said. Richie Woodall trained Joe Joyce for years in the amateurs at the Team GB squad center, headquarters. So he knows Joyce. And he vouches for Joyce's ability to deal with southpaws. But something happened in training. I said it on the night and I'll say it again. Was he actually sparring southpaws? I find it very, very, very difficult to believe that he was. I find it difficult to believe that he wasn't. Maybe in the fullness of time, the truth will emerge. But the backhand is a fighter's most lethal weapon. The backhand for an orthodox is the right hand. The backhand for a southpaw is the left hand. Watching the fight, thinking about it, and considering it, it seems to me that southpaws throw their backhand more than orthodox fighters. They're more frequent with it. I mean, Zili Zhang it was like a percentage of what? It was like a percentage of 50-50. It was almost 50-50. Zili Zhang, okay, probably more 60-40. 60% the lead hand, 40%, 45% the right hand. That's a very high percentage of backhand punches. That's unusual for the orthodox. You normally peck, jab, right. But the percentage of backhands from Zili Zhang was very, very high. It's unusually high. So even if you say backhand for backhand, Joyce was nowhere close, percentage-wise. There was nowhere close his percentage of backhands in comparison to Zhang's percentage of backhands thrown. So for you to be training with a southpaw, but yet not taking evasive action with the backhand, it's very, very shocking. In a sense, it's shocking. In another sense, it's Joyce, and he feels that, yeah, I don't have to get out of the way. Well, he had to get out of the way. He had to get out of the way of Daniel Dubois' backhand. And you got on your skates, and you skated around, and you fought at distance. You pecked him off at distance. But with Zhang and the backhand, it just seemed like he wasn't prepared for the backhand. I don't understand. He wasn't prepared for a southpaw. What the hell's going on? Kind of shocking. You have to look at the trainer and say, hold on. What the hell's going on? It doesn't appear that you're preparing for a southpaw, or did you just go along? Did you just go along with it and say, yeah, oh, it's Joyce, he doesn't have to avoid shots? What the hell are you talking about? Clearly, he had to avoid shots. Well, so that's kind of this shocking element. Made for a very exciting fight. Like I said, each round seemed like a 2-minute round to me. Very exciting fight. But the man didn't seem to be prepared for the backhand of the southpaw when he's done it before. He's got it in his toolkit. He's fought southpaws before. So then going on to the rematch, how do I think he'll do with the rematch? Well, he could come out, they could go away and do pure southpaw sparring, pure evasion of the backhand of the southpaw, going the right way, because I watched it a couple of times and Joyce wasn't always moving in the right direction. For the southpaw, trying to stay away from his backhand, you move to your left. You move to your left. So you're walking into his jabbing hand, which is the right, but you're keeping away from the backhand, which is on his left, the opponent's left. So you move to your left, keeping you away from the backhand of the southpaw. You move to your left. You attack him on his right side. You move to your left. Move to your left. Step outside to the left. Step to the left. But there were times when Joyce was stepping to the right. Times when he was eating artillery and stepping to the right. It's like it wasn't properly drilled. It's like Joyce wasn't properly drilled. So he's eating that left hand. Mr. Bashir is up in the building. Let me drop that link again. If he's free to jump on, he'll jump on. If he's not free, he won't. But it's just a pleasure to have you up in here, Mr. James Ali Bashir. Let's read this. The name of the sport is called boxing, not the lottery. And he had no one to teach him how to box the southpaw. Wow. Because Solid sure didn't tell him jack. OMG.
What I think that's interesting, right? Because again, Zile Zhang is not like a super technical southpaw. So to me, the basic rules should have been sufficient to deal with Zile Zhang. Is not some guy who implies a lot of footwork and a lot of setups and traps, right? He uses his right hand more to bring you back in line for the backhand. It's not like he's using the lead hand for like double jab, triple jabs. None of that. He was basically just waving him back into the backhand. That's it, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm a casual watching this, so maybe y'all would correct me. That's what I saw.
Yes.
Right? Because Zhang wasn't doubling his jab, he wasn't tripling his jab, he wasn't doing a lot of footwork to try and trap Joyce or whatever. None of that. Right? So to me, the basics of fight sport, as you were saying, is if your opponent is orthodox southpaw, you circle away from the power.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You circle away.
Yes.
But it's almost as if Joyce was dismissive of Zile Zhang, like he was he almost believed his own hype that he had this iron face, like this helmet on,
Yeah.
and he could take punches, right?
Yeah.
This is why when I tell people when Anthony Joshua is implying more defense in his game, and you say, "Oh, he's scared to get hit. He's scared to get hit." Look at Joyce.
Yeah.
So that's not boxing. Boxing is hit and don't get hit. Even at heavy, especially in my opinion, at heavyweight, because anybody at heavyweight could do real damage to you. That's why you move and you get defense in your game.
Yeah.
Joe Joyce believed his hype that I'm indestructible. I could take anybody's punches and just walk through them. Joe Joyce, we spoke about this, Rafi, seems to have issues now with his speed slurring. You said, Rafi, it's been like that for a while now.
Yeah.
And he has to be very careful because his style is I'm indestructible. I'm iron body Joe. I could just take these punches and walk right through any fire. Well, okay, but there's consequences.
For real.
That's my opinion.
Yes. 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 Leon Figures, any thoughts at the moment? Okay.
No, I'm not the best when it comes to the more technical elements
Right.
of the boxing. It's just I just thoroughly enjoyed the fight. I mean, that's why I was saying that I wouldn't know whether it would be a good idea for him to try and close the pocket, but just looking at some of the highlights, every time he tried to get in close, Zhang just ragdolled him. He tried to clinch, and Zhang just almost threw him.
Yeah,
that
brings us on to the next point. Then, why did Joyce come in at? It wasn't 240; it was like 250. Why did Joyce come in at 250? Why did Joyce come in at 250 when for Zhilei Zhang, who's probably the biggest man that he's fought, when he was at 270 for Joseph Parker?
I don't know if he underestimated him. I don't know if he took. It sounds like he did more of a conditioning camp rather than a technical camp to prepare for a southpaw. So it was almost as if I'm training to look good for the cameras rather than to be good for the fighter that's in front of me. Because who was it? I think it was Peter Fury was saying he came in light, but he didn't move his damn feet. So what was the point in him coming in light for? You know
exactly.
That's what you were saying on the live show. I couldn't get it.
That's what we were talking about. Like, you lose all that weight for what exactly? For like what? He didn't move you. What?
For what? Against the heaviest, one of the heaviest guys you ever fought. You lose weight for the heaviest guy you're gonna fight.
I mean, you could lose weight if you're going to employ tactics of movement.
Yes.
But he didn't even do that. He fought like he was 270 something pounds still. You just what were you doing?
It would have made sense if he was going to move off the line and use that ramrod jab to dictate the shape of the fight. But a simple tap from Zhang's glove just completely disabled his jab. And Peter Fury was saying, jab the shoulder, jab the elbow, just jab somewhere just to make him do something. It's like he completely abandoned it and just went forwards and walked into things. He was like he was just in line with the backhand. It just made no sense.
Yeah, in line with the backhand. Very surprising. I'd like an in-depth interview with Joe. Maybe I reach out to him, but I'd like an in-depth interview with Joe because there's so many questions that need to be answered. Mr. Bashir writes, after all of the amateur experience that Joe has, why does he even need anyone to teach him how to box a southpaw?
But what you can do sometimes, you can curse yourself. And he adopted this saying that he adapted from Mike Tyson's "everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face."
Yeah.
And he was saying something like, everyone has a plan until they punch me in the face and nothing happens.
Hmm.
And now he realized sometimes you'll get punched in the face and something does happen.
Yeah.
This is heavyweight boxing. You cannot block shots with your face. You're eventually going to come unstuck.
For real.
It was a fun fight to watch, but it was sad to see. It was sad to see.
Yeah. I was just shocked. I didn't have time for emotion, to be honest with you. I was just shocked at what was unfolding, because the first round I kind of missed because I realized that I was behind, significantly behind, seriously behind, and then when I adjusted my the equalizer, my settings, I was ahead of time, so I missed the half of the first round, so I couldn't really comment on it at the time. But people were saying that Joyce lost the first round, so I accepted it. I watched it back, and yeah, I understand. What am I talking about? The first, but yeah, as for the rest of the rounds, yeah, I mean, I actually had them 2 rounds apiece, and one round was a draw. Going into the 6th round. So I actually had them as a draw. There's a lot of people slating the judges, but hey, because Joyce was throwing them more volume. So if you're marking the thing on volume, it was neck and neck in the fight. But in reality, one guy was getting his eye busted up, getting his nose busted up, bleeding from the mouth in the first round, the nose in the 2nd round, and the eye closing in the 3rd round. So, there was a clear winner, even though statistically similar amount of punches were landed, but then different levels of damage were being incurred, and it was one man incurring the damage, and that was Joe Don't Move My Head Joyce.
I mean, watching the fight, I did give the rounds where Joyce was being more active. I gave him those 2 rounds.
Yeah.
But when I saw the punch stats afterwards, and he said, like, Joe Joyce, if he threw 400 punches, he landed, less than 100.
Yeah.
Whereas Zhang threw a lot less, but was a lot more accurate with them.
Yes. More economical.
Yeah, and they were just a lot more bludgeoning.
Yeah.
So, I stand by it. I gave Joyce 2 rounds of the 5 that we saw. But, there was a very good case that he could have lost 4. He could have maybe just been given 1 round or none.
For real.
It was a comprehensive beatdown.
It was
one that he was competitive in up until the fight stopped, but it was only going to go one way. He was just, when I saw him getting rocked with the things and getting thrown around, it was just, I just don't know what went wrong.
Quite stunning. Mr. Bashir writes, I'm driving at the moment, can't get on at this time. No problem, Mr. Bashir, but we definitely like to have you on at some point in the future. But much appreciation for your participation. Feel free to comment at your leisure. Much appreciated. Okay. Training, back to the training room. I have no idea what the hell they were doing in training, but it didn't seem like they were training for a southpaw. That's all I can tell you.
I think what Ali Bashir said just now was real, though. Like, Joe has an extensive amateur career. He's fought a lot of amateur fights. I think was one of you guys just said, or somebody else said, I saw on a video, that he's probably one of the more accomplished amateur heavyweights.
Yeah,
we have seen in some time. He spent quite a while in the amateurs. So basically, Joe would have seen these same people like Zhang and these people already. Either he's fought them or he's seen them at tournaments before.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm not really understanding what Joe thought was going to be happening in the ring. Again, I think he bought into his own hype. He spent an entire fight build-up talking about Anthony Joshua when you should have been worrying about moving your head. Because I would like, if you watch Joe's fights before, Joseph Parker, Dubois, he was getting stung, Yeah. But just that Joseph Parker don't really have it no more. Like he really don't have it no more. Dubois, as you said, when he felt Dubois, he started moving around a bit more, getting more active with his feet, which is wise. This fight, you come in 250 something pounds, you come in lighter, and you don't imply the same things like you did with Dubois. I don't even think if Zhilei Zhang was an orthodox, it would have been fine, because it just seemed like he was intent on not moving his head. So I don't even think if he was orthodox, Joe, I think if Zhilei Zhang was orthodox, it would have been the same result, because Joe simply refuses to move, and I don't understand what's happening. Because he fought orthodox people and he still didn't move his head. With Dubois, he moved his feet, you said, Rafi.
Yeah.
But you watch other people and he just kind of stands there and doesn't move his head. He's been able to get away.
Yeah. But with an orthodox fighter, the job wouldn't be so heavy.
Okay, I hear you.
Yeah.
So his issue is that he has to understand that he might have to employ more defensive tactics in his game. Yes, you're going to risk people now saying, oh, he's scared to get hit. Because as we know, when you try to be an actual boxer, and be a defense and have defense in your game, you're scared to be hit.
Yeah.
That is if you're not Tyson Fury. Only Tyson Fury is allowed to employ slick movements in his game. Everybody else needs to just be a slugger. Right? Joe Joyce doesn't need to be anybody's slugger. He needs to be a boxer and understand slugging can happen sometimes, and boxing needs to happen sometimes. Intelligence, Marcus Garvey said, intelligence rules the world. Ignorance carries the book. You understand me? It's all about intelligence in the ring. Intelligence.
Yeah.
You understand me?
100.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. Zhang didn't have to do anything technical. Joe was giving him a free ride. Just reach out and touch. Damn.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. We got a world-class trainer saying this. World-class trainer saying this. What's this here? Let me get through a couple of these comments. Sadari Pennant says Zhilei Zhang. For Philip Hergovic. Joe Joyce. Daniel Dubois. What's this list? And more are all very good fighters. Yeah. I think his fourth fight was against Southpaw Lenroy Thomas. Okay, that comes from BoxRec, then you are indeed correct. Mr. Coates in the building. When you get beat like that, you're pretty much outclassed. Was he outclassed? Yeah. I think it's fair to say he was outclassed. Sure took a beating on the eye, on the right side of his face. There ain't no doubt about that. TKO says, what about Otto Wallin? Well, that's my choice. If I was managing Joe Joyce, I would say, well, easy with the rematch. I wouldn't really want the immediate rematch. If he has the option to say, okay, you go fight, you go another fight, have another fight, and I'll take the rematch with you after your next fight. If he has the choice of doing that, I'd say take that. And I would have Joe Joyce in with Otto Wallin. I said that on the Saturday show. Why? Because Otto Wallin doesn't clip as hard, anywhere near as hard as Zhilei Zhang, but he's a southpaw. So to my mind, getting there with another southpaw that doesn't clip as hard as Zhang, work that, use that as your warm-up fight, if you will. And then when we can see that you've got that right, when you've satisfied yourself, when you've satisfied your trainers, that you've got that right, then boom, get back in there with Zhilei Zhang. That would be my plan. Although, counter argument to that is, well, these trainers will be able to see if he's doing it right in training. Yeah, maybe. Well, they didn't see it this time, though, did they? They didn't see that he was getting it wrong this time, though. So I don't know if I trust them when it comes to southpaws. Get him in there with a southpaw, decent southpaw, Atto Valine, and let's see if he gets it right now. Let's see if he can just snap into it, drill the right things to do, against a southpaw, and move your head. Maybe have an electric shock collar. Put an electric shock collar every time he doesn't move his head when he should have just zap him. You know what I mean? I was kind of joking with that, by the way. I hope I don't kind of, make anybody crazy out there. Move his head. Move your head. Where am I going? Looking through a few of these. His front foot was often in the wrong place. Keep the front foot on the outside of the lead hand. You keep the fighting a southpaw. When you're an orthodox, you keep your front foot on the outside of the lead foot. Know what I mean? What's going on here? Zong won that fight versus. I thought Zong won that fight versus Hrgovic. Even a draw would have been fair. Yeah, well, I watched that fight. I think I scored it on here, the RDCR. I think I scored it. Personally, I thought that Filip Hrgovic was getting his ass whooped early, and then he did a very smart thing. You know what he did? He got on his bike. He got on his unicycle. Got on his bike, and he avoided the damage that Joyce incurred. He avoided that damage because he got on his bike. The same thing Joyce did against Dubois. He got on his bike. But he didn't do it even though he cut weight, he didn't do it against Zhang. But if he gets on his bike and Zhang closes and he doesn't get his head off the center line, then you could argue, well, would it made any difference if he got on his bike? Well, it would have done. It would have done until Zhang closed in on him again, and boop, another left hand. Or maybe the left eye would have closed slower. And that's another issue. Why didn't they start working on the eye sooner? Is something that you could ask, is a question that could be asked, because the eye was pretty much swollen by the time they started working on it. Were they caught lacking? Were his team caught lacking in his preparation for a southpaw, even though he knows how to fight southpaws? Were they caught lacking with the eye swell, the end swell? They forgot to put the end swell on. Maybe they were shocked. Maybe they were shocked themselves. Maybe they were shook. Maybe they were shocked. I had Zhang 3-2 up going into the 5th, 6th. Yeah, I had them 2 apiece, and one round was drawn. I gave that round a draw because Joyce had the volume, but Hrgovic the heavier shot, so I kind of evened itself out, in my estimation. Joyce was pushing his punches. Zhang was snapping his, yeah, for sure. What we got here? When is Vladislav Sirenko fighting again? He had an injury a few weeks back, which will require him to rest for a period. Okay. Target practice for Zhang. Yeah, well, the target wasn't moving. It was a sitting duck. Target was a sitting duck. Peeps, you can come on in. Panelists, you can come on in anytime you see a point you care to address.
I'll just let me right but I I feel like Joe Joyce at the moment. Um, Joe Joyce needs to start to focus on himself. Stop worrying about talking up yourself. I don't know who encouraged Joe Joyce to start becoming this guy who talks up himself. Some everybody ducking me. Oh, they need me. I'm this. I'm that. All right, bro. I mean, I hear you. Okay, all right, okay, but you need to start focusing on yourself. All right, you were caught crying the other day. He put AJ put sparring footage out of me. Joe, that came out because you kept talking shit. You did the same thing in the lead up, kept talking shit about the same person leading up to this fight. You wouldn't talk about Zhang, you whatever. It doesn't seem like you're focused on this person in your face. Just like Anthony Joshua when he went to America, got pieced up by Ruiz, all he was talking about was Wilder.
Yeah.
Right? Listen, man, there are people out here who not playing with you. All right. They're looking for the opportunity. Zhang right now knows he's at in the end of his career. He's older than Joe. So every fight he fights right now, he fights like it's his last. You, Joe, seem to forget you are not the favored son of Queensberry. That person is Daniel Dubois. It's not you. So you have to. I think he has to fight again. I saw someone say maybe Zhang was preparation for Usyk. Then you don't fight Zhang. You fight Wallin, who is a speedier southpaw. Maybe they thought Zhang being someone who is prone to getting tired.
Yeah.
Joe might be done. But then how do you weigh on somebody 280 pounds when you're not making them walk? You're not making them chase you. You're not making them follow you on the ring. You're not making them do nothing. You're standing in front of them and allowing this person to just use your face like a dartboard. I don't understand. I just don't understand. Somebody need to explain what the game plan was.
I want to know.
I need to know.
I want to know. I really want to know. What else were people saying? There might have been a rematch clause in. There is a rematch clause. Joyce was basically set for a title fight. He did not need to take the risk. Maybe Zhang was preparation for Usyk. Kong just addressed that one. But there is a rematch clause, and I understand that it doesn't have to be an immediate rematch. Let's have a look. The last thing I would do is have him fight Zhang. You might murder him. OMG.
Well, I'm saying, what does Zhang do? Fight David Adelaide?
Well, Zhang. Well, I don't think it's out of the question that Zhang might fight. The Fury might fight Zhang. I don't think it's out of the question that Fury might fight Zhang. Because he was supposed to fight Joyce. Then his dad started making noise. Oh, what's in it? What's in it for fighting Joyce? And Tyson Fury took a hell of a battering in the media by the fans, not by the media. The media, they'll kiss his ass all day long. But he took a battering by the fans, and then he went radio silent. I think Fury's way out of the dughouse is to say, well, I was going to fight Joyce, but since you lost to Zhilei Zhang, then Zhilei Zhang it is. I'll see you at Wembley, you big dosser. So I don't think it's beyond the realms of possibility because nobody's going to have the same. I don't envisage many people having the same problems with Zhang, the exact same problems with Zhang that Joyce had. The only way you're going to have the exact same problem with Zhang that Joyce had is if you don't move your head. And there's very few heavyweight boxers out there at the top level now who don't move their head. So I don't think Joshua would have that much trepidation about fighting Zhang. He's a heavy hitter, so there's got to be an element of caution. Of course, he's a heavy hitter, but if you move your head, then you help yourself tremendously. When they was talking about Joshua versus Zhang a year ago, 2 years ago, there was none of this talk about, you'll take your head off. There was none of that talk. He was a southpaw. He was a heavy hitter. Move your head. Keep your lead foot on the outside of his lead foot. Move to your right. And remember, there was a speed discrepancy. Zhang's straight punches were faster than Joyce's hooks. So there's a speed discrepancy. There's a speed advantage. Zhang had a speed advantage over Joyce.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy. He's not going to enjoy that speed advantage over Joshua. Joshua could easily peck him off, move in the right direction. He just fought the one of the best pound for pound boxers 2 times back to back, and he's a southpaw. You're telling me that Joshua is gonna suffer the same fate as Joyce? I find that very, very difficult to believe. After being there with Usyk and learning the trade at a higher level, at the highest level.
Rafi, I got a bones. Let me I'll get up my office. All right.
Hey, Kong, always a pleasure.
Take care, Mr. Kong. Take care.
Let us gloss over the fact that Leon Figures admitted in the chat that he is, in fact, a Mampi size lover. He's a man who's had multiple,
not just several.
0 regrets. Absolutely great time. I had an absolutely great time. It was fun.
Oh, man. All right, Brendan. Peace, buddy.
Okay. Yes. We're not scared of the Mampies over here. You know what I'm saying? We're not afraid of no Mampi. One thing though, Leon, we're not gonna pick them up. We're not gonna pick them up. We're not gonna try and carry them over no threshold, Leon.
Hang on. I never said marry.
No, we're not gonna try carry them over no threshold. You know what I'm saying? Multiple reasons. The main one being the back. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm saying, boy, you need to prove yourself before you're going. You need to prove yourself with the southpaw before you're thinking about going in with Zhang again. You need to prove yourself, man. Don't just walk in because your team didn't prepare you right, or you whatever. It's a mystery. How the hell can a man who's
I don't know if it's a mystery though. I think it's age old. You overlook a fighter.
Yeah.
As you listed it. You know, you start overlooking and you come unstuck. Overlooking plus taking on dangerous opponents when you don't need to. That's another recipe for disaster. And he done. It seems like he done both. It would be great if you could get an interview with him, because he seems quite open and honest, and he seems like he'd admit a mistake, because he said I needed more practice. That's what he said after the in his post-fight interview.
Yeah.
And that was pretty damning. You know, if you've got that interim title, you need to hold on to it. You know, for dear life. I get the whole building yourself up with the media, making your comments and talking about Joshua because his name carries traction, and then you'll carry traction, but you have to deliver. All of that talk has to be said after a fully focused, full fight camp where you've done it. And I just cannot see a scenario where he doesn't come back. He can't look any worse in a rematch. He cannot look any worse.
Are you sure?
Whether he can get over the line and get the victory, but I just don't know if he can't look any worse.
Well, if he makes the same mistake and Zhang comes in even more confident than he did this time, then surely he could look worse.
I mean,
but you were saying
if we're looking at reasons what Harry can win, if we're looking at reasons Harry can win a rematch, maybe Zhang now underestimates him. Maybe Zhang goes back to China, gets all the glory that he maybe hasn't had. Maybe the adulation goes to his head, maybe rather than training.
Yeah.
He's out enjoying the fame and the spoils of war that success brings to a boxer.
Street meat.
Yes. Having all of that fun out there.
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't train as hard.
Yeah.
Maybe he thinks he just needs to turn up, throw some backhands and gets to victory, and then maybe but it won't be easy at all. But redemption must taste sweet.
Yeah.
If Joyce can face him in an immediate rematch and knock him out, then as Dwyer says, knockouts cause amnesia.
Oh.
People will quickly forget this schooling, this battering that he took, and they'll give him credit for making a successful, for getting his scalp back.
Yeah, redemption. You just know Frank Warren kicked his cat after going home. Well, did he though? Because he's got Zhang. Apparently now he signed Zhang with the part of the deal. He did a Don King move. Apparently Frank Warren did a Don King move. He gave him the fight with Joyce on contingent that Warren Queensbury Promotions would have the option to sign him. Why Eddie Hearn allowed that? Why Eddie Hearn didn't tie up Zilly Zong? I don't know, but it could be a situation with Top Rank and Andreas the Punch Ruiz, where Top Rank allowed him to go. Just a little payout, allowed him to break his contract. Al Heyman gave them a little payout, and they said, "Cool, he can go." So, not knowing that very shortly thereafter, he was going to be getting a couple of big checks from Anthony Joshua, very large checks. So was it a similar situation where Eddie Hearn just didn't see him in future plans? I don't know. That's a question for Eddie Hearn. Wouldn't mind speaking to him either. Let's have a look. Okay.
I don't think Hearn is one for denying his fighters an opportunity.
Right.
If they can go and get more elsewhere, a better opportunity. Yeah. And, Joe Joyce having an interim title was a better opportunity. I mean, he'd just given him the only opportunity he could. We've given him the shot at Hrgovic for an interim title. He lost that. Then he had the option for another one. And I don't think Hearn holds his fighters back like that. Not the ones like Zhang anyway, that aren't guaranteed earners. He was a card filler. He was a card filler.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't seem to tie him up in red tape. 3 fight contracts. If you want to go, if you don't like it over here at the Zone Matchroom, then you can go. If you don't like
it, it's a fight by fight contract, man. When for the right fighters, it's a fight by fighters. And they say that the second you lose, he stops answering your calls. The second you stop making money from Matchroom, he doesn't take the calls anymore.
Yeah, oftentimes he goes on a fight by fight basis, but sometimes you got to be. I'm hearing a little bit of reverberation coming through from your side when I speak, so it seems like I'm coming through your speakers. So I muted you. Mute you when I'm speaking, so we don't get that reverb. What was I saying? Yeah. But sometimes you got to be a little bit more. Listen, you got to be a little bit more like a Bob Arum. Sometimes you got to be a little bit more like a Don King. Well, not like a Don King. That's a bit too much. That's taking it too far. But sometimes you got to tie him up for 3-4 fights. Tie him up for 3-4 fights, because situations like this will occur from time to time, where you let somebody slip away who you could really have used. You could have used him for Anthony Joshua. Apparently not this year, but maybe next. Yeah, so I don't know. I think that might have been bad business on Eddie Hearn's part. I can't say that definitively because he's not here to defend himself. So we're going to have to wait. That question surely must be asked. Why did you let Zhilei Zhang go? Eddie Hearn, why let him go?
But it is an advocate. Zhang is an advocate for taking dangerous fights, in the sense that even if you lose, if you fight in the correct way, because he kind of had a moral victory against Hrgović.
Yeah,
and then now he's got an overwhelming victory over Joyce.
for real.
And maybe it's because of his age and he doesn't have time. But yeah, just take the dangerous fights, even if you lose. I think Dillian White is one that says it. If you're taking dangerous fights, you're going to lose.
Yeah.
There used to be a time when not having a loss on your record, people would question your opponents. Well, who are you fighting? If you've had all these fights and you're not taking a loss, who are you fighting? Whereas now, it seems to be if you have taken a loss, you get written off.
Yeah.
And it's like, as Frank Warren always says, a loss isn't the end of the road. You can come back. And that's one thing Queensbury is good at doing. They'll throw their fighters in big fights early and then rebuild if they take the high probability of the loss that's going to come with that. So it's just a shame the way boxing is going. And talking about fights, I think Joyce might be forced to take the rematch because he was finding it difficult enough to find opponents with an interim.
Yeah.
Who's going to want to? I mean, I know that, and Mr. Bashir is a lot more knowledgeable than me, and he says there'll be a lot of people queuing up to fight Joyce.
Yeah.
Maybe that could be a good thing for Joyce then, because before then he was kind of in the Who Needs Him club.
Yes.
He seemed very dangerous, and this whole iron chin, he can't be stopped. Well, now maybe it can be a good thing. Maybe Joyce will have lots of options, and then so he won't have to face Zhang. I do want to see it, but I just don't know whether people will be queuing up to take on Joyce, especially with no interim belt to fight him for.
Yeah. It might be the head of the Who Needs Him club again.
Especially with no belt.
Yeah, with no belt, definitely. With
no mandatory, I should say. It's the mandatory that's more important, not the interim belt.
Yeah.
Especially with no mandatory to fight for. He's going to want to take on. I mean, I don't know.
Well, maybe
Bacoli. Somebody else who struggles. Michael Hunter. Somebody, other people, other fighters that struggle.
Yeah, I don't think he wants Bacoli. Bacoli. Hold on. Bacoli's Orthodox. He's not Southpaw. Yeah. Bacoli said Bacoli's Orthodox, I believe, but his brother is Itamu, the geezer who just lost in Saudi Arabia lost his cruiserweight belt to Badu Jack. Yeah, that's his brother. That's his big brother, who's a southpaw. So Bacoli said, "Well, I got taught to box by a southpaw, so I would know what to do with Zhang." Of course, Bacoli also says that he stopped Usyk in training. Now I don't know if it's true or not true. It's a little bit hard to believe, or rather, they stopped the training with him. They got him out of the ring when he was sparring Usyk. Seems hard to believe, but sometimes things that seem hard to believe are actually true. So
I've been watching a bit of sparring.
Yeah.
And these sparring stories need to sometimes be put into context, because I was watching a bit of some of the female fighters, and there was a fighter, Shadeja Green, that was mandated to fight Franchon Cruz. But then Boxer have come in with Savannah Marshall, and they want to give her the shot at Undisputed. And Shadeja Green and Franchon Cruz have been having a bit of back and forth, and Shadeja Green released some sparring footage where she stopped Franchon Cruz with a body shot. But in sparring, it was more, she hit her to the body with a right hook, and Cruz just kind of waved her away like that hurt kind of thing. So that wouldn't have been a stoppage in a fight, but in a spar, it's the case of I don't need to take more of these punches. So there's a stoppage in sparring, and there's a stoppage. Do you get what I mean? So sometimes, if you've got a fight coming up, and you feel a heavy punch, and you might think, I don't need too many of those kidney punches, I might get hurt. There's stoppages and there's stoppages. So it's, I just wanted to put that in because the psychology of the spar is an interesting thing. When you watch it, when you watch the two fighters warming up, especially with sparring, it's a lot more friendly at first, and then they go in the ring to go and fight. I just found it whole fascinating watching the psychology of it all.
Yeah,
but the whole stopping in sparring, it just needs a bit of context to it sometimes.
Of course,
because it might just be as simple as, all right, that was a good shot, mate. Let's put a pause on that for a second.
Yeah.
And go again, because it's not an actual fight.
For real. But even so, if a fraction of what, if a fraction, even if Bacoli kind of made Usyk or his U16 say, okay, that's enough for today. It's still interesting. It's interesting because Bacoli seems a very, very confident guy right now. The way he handled Yoka was very impressive. That was probably as surprising as this fight was. Joyce versus Usyk. Mr. Ali Bashir says, in my opinion, the next real boxing mind coming out of the UK, if racism doesn't interfere, Davis, McGuigan, and other members of the BG's club, Derek Riley. Who's Derek Riley? A trainer? Is that a trainer or a fighter? Derek Riley, the next great boxing mind coming out to the UK. Maybe we're going to have to get him on here. Hook him up. Hook him up with my number, Mr. Bashir. Might have to feature him on the RDCR. Boxer. Okay. Ilunga Makabu. That's Bacoli's big brother. Ilunga Makabu. Maybe different fathers, brother from another mother. Maybe different fathers, perhaps. I don't know. It's not for me to speculate. Philip Ergovic wants a rematch with Zili Zhang in Beijing, China, but we talked about that. It's like we talked about that. What's in it for Zili Zhang? I don't know. Dillian White wants Zili Zhang. Where's this here? Dillian White wants Zili Zhang. Well, what's in it for Zili
Zhang? What's in it for Zili Zhang is he gets one step closer to a title shot because the IBF is ahead of the queue. With a WBA, isn't it?
That's right. Okay. So yeah. Well, that's but then he potentially that's the upside. The downside is he loses his spot. So it's a question of, is he confident of doing a proper job? Is he confident that he can finish the job on Hrgovic? That's what it boils down to. Because a lot of people feel he was robbed. I think that I had Hrgovic winning it because Hrgovic played the points game. He danced around. He got on his unicycle. But I would have liked Zili Zhang to be rewarded for his power punches, because his power punches dropped Hrgovic. Was it once or two times? At least once. Dropped Hrgovic at least once. So I think Hrgovic got on his bike and played the points game. I'm going to touch you more times than you touch me. So he won it that way. But who was the bigger force in the fight? And who was the more destructive force in the fight? Then that was Zili Zhang. He was the more destructive force. Who would I Who do I think merited the victory more? I think it was Zhilei Zhang. But Hrgovic was clever and he played the points game, stayed away from him, and you know, play the points game. I'm going to touch you more times than you touch me. So Hrgovic was clever to do that. But you can argue, well, Joyce couldn't even do that. Joyce didn't get dropped, but you know, he didn't have that in his repertoire. Well, he does have it in his repertoire because we've seen him do it against Dubois, but Dubois is not a southpaw. He just seemed as if he didn't know what to do with the southpaw. He looked like a man who'd never been in there with the southpaw before. Is that down to bad habits? I think it's down to bad habits, just keeping your head on the center line. But then still the basic principles of fighting a southpaw, he wasn't observing them. It's a mystery, man. I really need to talk to that cat. Let me reach out and see if I can get him on. Yeah, or somebody else can ask him that question. Well, I got some questions. We got some questions that we want answers for, if at all possible. Zhilei Zhang, Dillian White in China would be fireworks. But then does Zhilei Zhang want Dillian White? But then it's a good scalp. It's a good scalp because, hold on, let me just, yeah, we'll leave that there for a second, but let me stop sharing that for a second and start sharing this. Let's see what we got on the screen. Take that down. Okay, so that's Joe Joyce. This is not the Ring Magazine or WBC. It's an independent body, but I do like their rankings to an extent. I don't know why Deontay Wilder's just up there. He's just been knocked out 2 times in 3 years. Been knocked out 2 times in 3 years. He had 1 win in 3 years, but knocked out 2 times. You can say, well, Anthony Joshua, you can say, well, hold on. When was the last time he won a fight? Well, let's have a little looky. That was Franklin, obviously. But fight before that, Alexander Usyk. August 2022. Fight before that, Alexander Usyk in September 2021. Fight before that, Kubrat Pulev in 2020. Okay, so in 3 years, in the last 3 years, he's lost twice and KO'd Kubrat Pulev, won once by KO and won once by points. Whereas when we look at Deontay Wilder, let's get him in there. Deontay Wilder. When we look at Deontay Wilder, what we see is 3 years. What's he done in the last 3 years? 2020. Okay, go back to 2020. He lost to Tyson Fury. 2020. Yeah, that was early. That was February of 2020. Lost to Tyson Fury. 2021, lost to Tyson Fury. And 2022, beat Robert Helenius. Low-ranking opponent, Robert Helenius, knocked him out. Okay, so that's two knockouts, 2 stoppages for Deontay Wilder, and 1 knockout over Robert Helenius. That's a lesser caliber of fighter, lesser caliber of wins than Anthony Joshua. So, and how the hell is Anthony Joshua behind him in the rankings? Well, anyway, other than that, I think it's a fairly decent ranking system. And why did I come over here? There was a question, was there not? Zhilei Zhang, Dillian White in China. Well, let's have a look where White is. White is number 6 in these rankings, independent rankings. Number 6 behind Andreas the Punch Ruiz. Why is he still so high? Ain't really doing much. We see Zilly Zhang there, Zilly Zong, Zilly Zhang, Zilly Zong. In 7th. Yeah, why not? What's in it for Zong? Well, you got a guy who's been in the top 5 for the last 3 years or so in Dillian White. Yeah, so why not Dillian White? Why not Dillian White? I like that fight. But going back to the poll, where's the poll? Have I still got the poll up? Yeah, going back to the poll. Let's stop sharing that. Let's go into the poll. Where are we? Is that it? I think so. Looking at the poll. What's it saying now? Yeah, same as before. Let's do a quick refresh. What's up? Where are we going to? Okay. Oh, it's changed. 13 votes so far. Hergovic shot into the lead with 46% of the votes. 46% of respondents want to see Hergovic next. And there is something in that for Zilly Zong. 0% of people want to see Deontay Wilder. 31% of respondents would like to see Anthony Joshua versus Anthony Joshua, where Anthony Joshua allegedly has something big planned for the end of the year. And 23% want to see Tyson Fury. So they want at least of these people. Oh, the least is Deontay Wilder. The second least is Tyson Fury. So front runners by a large margin is Filip Hrgovic at 46%, followed by Anthony Joshua in 31%. But yeah, Zilly Zhang, I think there's quite a few people who are going to be looking forward to, who are going to throw their hat in to fight Zilly Zhang. Quite a few. He's got something to fight for. And I think I can see Hrgovic wanting to fight him. Why not? Because Hrgovic, there don't seem to be too many people knocking down Hrgovic's door. Where is he in the rankings? In these independent rankings. Andy Ruiz 5, White 6, Zilly Zhang 7, Frank Sanchez 8, Joe Joyce down to 9, Filip Hrgovic 12, Martin Bakole 13, Jared Anderson 14, Otto Wallin 15, Michael Hunter 16, Ajagba 17, Gassiev 18, Makhmadov 19, and Demirizian 20. Interesting. Very interesting. The World Boxing rankings. And what was I seeing just a second ago? There is that thing that I saw. Eddie Hearn reminds fans that that's not what I'm looking for. Saw something very interesting just a moment ago. Filip Hrgovic wants a rematch with Zilly Zhang in Beijing. Dillian White wants Zhang next. Zhou has a rematch clause for Zilly Zhang. Talked about that extensively. Does he take it? I say no. Zhang says Tyson Fury will go down. Oh, Zhang's threatening to knock out Tyson Fury. Wow. I hope Tyson Fury takes it. I'm curious. I want to see that. But on the front page, that's Wilder, same night in talks. Okay. On the same night, Eddie Hearn. Oh, let me show you this. Stop sharing that. And let's start sharing this. Is that it? Yeah. That's it. Yeah, that's it. No natural instincts to move out of the way, maneuver, or do something cross your mind. Well, you'd have thought so. I mean, he's a decorated amateur. So you'd have thought so. There are so many fights they need to make in the heavyweight division alone. Just make the damn fights. Make the damn fights. Wilder should be there. Wilder should be where? Wilder should be where? Okay. Eddie Hearn says Joshua versus Wilder and Fury versus Usyk on the same night in talk. Wow. That's breaking news, people. I don't know if anybody had seen that. I had not, but it was assumed that this tournament they're talking about was either pure garbaggio or they were going to be different on different nights, i.e. Joshua versus Wilder on one night, maybe a month later, Fury versus Usyk. What are they talking about here? Wow. How much is the pay-per-view going to be for this one? Because you know, if Frank Warren's got his grubby little fingers in it, it's going to go through the roof. Through the roof.
And there, Mr. Dawkins, is why I think it won't happen. Because you've just said it. It's going to be on pay-per-view where Queensberry are going to want it.
Yeah.
The Zone's going to want it. Sky Sports are going to want it. Everyone's going to want it. And who is going to be able to get it? Only one of them can have it in each territory.
Yeah.
I just, and I think Eddie Hearn said the Saudi model is they give you a huge fee and then they sell the fights.
Yeah.
Are Bob Arum and Frank Warren going to be happy with seeing Tyson Fury on another platform? Is Al Heyman going to be happy to see Deontay Wilder on another platform in the US? Is the Zone going to be happy seeing Joshua on another platform, considering they just signed him up, made an ambassador and exclusively to the Zone? The only one that isn't an issue is Usyk, but it's just too many things that can go wrong, and that's before you start getting in egos with the fighters. Does this fighter want to fight that one?
Yeah,
I just cannot see it happening.
Yeah,
I really just cannot. If it does, great, but I'm not expecting it to happen, and I will not be getting my hopes up for it at all, because we've been dangled with Undisputed recently. Now they're trying to dangle Undisputed in one night with another mega fight underneath. If it happens, great.
For real. A lot of moving parts to that. Imagine that. AJ v Wilder, Fury v Usyk, big money bag fights. Yeah, but on the same night, it would sell. It would be very expensive. I know that. El Grandma's up in the building. Top 10 heavyweights: Usyk, Fury, AJ, Wilder, Ruiz, Zhang, Joyce, White, Ergovic, Sanchez, Bacoli. Yeah, that's a decent list. Mr. Coates says Wilder last losses were for the belt against the current champ. No one else proven they can do what Fury did to him. Well, you don't fight people. Wilder don't fight people. Wilder don't fight people. I mean, look at these. Do we have to go over his resume again? Robert Helenius, Tyson Fury, loss, KO. Tyson Fury, TKO, loss. Luis Ortiz for the second time. That was back in 2019. We're now in 2023. So let's get this straight. Let's go back to the beginning of 2019. So in the last 4 years, Deontay Wilder has fought Dominic Breazeale, Luis Ortiz for the second time, Tyson Fury for the second time, Tyson Fury for the third time, and Robert Helenius. What a waste. In the last 4 years. In the last 4 years, Deontay Wilder has faced Dominic Breezel, Luis Ortiz for the second time, Tyson Fury for the second time, Tyson Fury for the third time, and Robert Helenius. What a bloody waste. What a waste. Usyk number one. Well, it's higher. He's been Usyk's faced high level of opponent, hasn't he? You know, Deontay Wilder's an unknown entity whose record is piss poor. Resume is piss poor. That's who he's been losing to. That's who Deontay Wilder is. You know, a guy with a piss poor resume. So Tyson Fury beat a guy with a piss poor resume. Alexander Usyk beat a guy who's fought and beat the most top 10 opponents out of any of the top guys. He's beat more top 10 opponents than Tyson Fury. More top 10 opponents than Deontay Wilder. More top 10 heavyweight opponents than Usyk. So, of the two, Usyk has beat the better quality of opponents in the last 3 years. Beating Joshua is a higher accomplishment than beating the guy with a poor resume. Deontay Wilder. It's a poor resume by choice. He could have had the top fight. He could have fought Dillian White. He could have fought Anthony Joshua. He could have fought Joseph Parker. But he tried to lowball Joseph Parker. Anthony Joshua got him on his resume instead. So, I mean, let's ask the people. Let's ask the people. I don't know what they're going to say because, you know, we have independent thinkers over here. But let's ask the people. Who has the better resume? What's this here? Where's my poll? Where's my poll gun? Polls. Where's the poll? Why is this thing not showing? Where is, oh damn. Sometimes it goes missing temporarily. Why can I not see? Why can I not see the poll options? Oh, sometimes, oh, there it is. No. I'm having difficulties here. Where is the poll? Show that. Oh, here it is. It's probably right before my eyes. Didn't miss it. Who has the better resume? Who has the better resume? What's the better resume? Question mark. Uh-oh, that's not a question mark. And neither is that. Come on now. What the hell's going on? It's like
I feel we need the fight doctor for some balance on this one to really represent Deontay Wilder.
Where is the fight doctor? Is he around? Is he in the house? Fight doctor, put down your mushroom soup and get up on in here. Who has the better resume? And Joshua, Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder. Okay, very simple. Very simple. Who has the better resume? Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder. Now, obviously, you're all intelligent people. You don't need me. Well, I'm going to leave it at that and let you come to your conclusions unbiased. I've already told you the guy's been fought. I've told you the guy's done fought in the last few years. And if you go back further, then, you know, you can see for yourself. But let's go back further then. Let's go back further. Where are we? How far do you want to go back? Let's go back to 20. Remember, Wilder's been a professional for several years more than Anthony Joshua. Where should we go? 2016. Should we start at 2016? Let's go 2016. I think that's when Anthony Joshua's professional career. Let's have a look at this. When did Anthony Joshua's professional career start? 2013. Okay. 2013. When did Anthony Joshua win his first belt? What year? Was it Charles Martin? Okay, and that was in 2016. Okay. So let's go from 2016. So for 2016, starting from 2016. Yeah, 2016. Okay, Charles Martin. Remember, he fought Dillian Whyte 2015, but he fought Charles Martin, Dominic Breezel, Eric Molina, Vladimir Klitschko, Carlos Takam, Joseph Parker, who was a champion at the time. Maybe I should be reading off the champions. Who was a champion at the time. Alexander Povetkin, was he unbeaten at the time when he fought Joshua? Possibly. Andreas the Punch Ruiz, twice, 2-time. Kubrat Pulev, Alexander Usyk ×2, and Jermaine Franklin. Okay, so that's Anthony Joshua. And let's go to Deontay Wilder. Let's go 2016. 2016. Okay, Eric Molina. Well, we have to say that he fought, what is this? Bermain Stavern. Let's go 2015. Bermain Stavern, because I want to include that. I don't want people saying, oh, you didn't include Bermain Stavern. Okay, that's 2015. So 2015 for Joshua was Dillian Whyte. 2015 for Wilder was Bermain Stavern. Okay, Bermain Stavern. Eric Molina. Johan Duapas. Arthur Spilker, there's a couple of cruiserweights there. Chris Ariola, overweight cruiserweight. Gerald Washington, who's a newbie, only had a few fights when he fought Wilder. And he had him in trouble as well at one point. He was outboxing him. Remember? Bermain Stavern 2, which was a travesty. Bermain Stavern hadn't fought in how long? He was as fat as the Michelin man. So that was a travesty. That is a clearest of indications of where Deontay Wilder and his handlers' minds was when he fought Bermain Stavern for the second time. Bermain Stavern, I don't think he was even in the top 100. And this is as a champion, 2017. Luis Ortiz for the second time. Tyson Fury, 1. Dominic Breezel, Luis Ortiz, 2. Tyson Fury 2, Tyson Fury 3, Robert Helenius. What a waster. What a waster. Where's the poll? Where's the poll? Okay, so far, as you can all see, everybody, where am I? Hit that like button. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. Okay.
Sorry, Mr. Dawkins, I have to go now.
Hey,
it's been a while. I will be back very soon.
Hey.
I very much enjoyed it. I appreciate the time.
Hey, it was a pleasure having the Leon Figures, the return. Call it the return of the figures. You know what I mean? The return of the figures, Leon. Much appreciation. Always a good time when you come on and share your thoughts and observations. And that was the Leon Figures. Much appreciation from the Combat Radio Nation. Okay, excellente. So yeah, what was the question I was attempting to answer there? What was the question I was attempting to answer? Oh, yeah. Okay. So, yeah, pure and simple. Usyk fought the better opponents. Usyk fought the better opponent in Joshua. The opponent with a better resume. The opponent with the better accomplishments. So beating an opponent with better accomplishments than Deontay Wilder has to be worth more. That's a higher caliber. It's a higher caliber. Anthony Joshua is a higher caliber fighter in terms of his resume than Deontay Wilder. Of that, there can be no doubt. There can be no doubt. Is there any doubt? 80, well, you can see the poll results so far reading 83%. Anthony Joshua, well, it's changed now. As you know, the contrarians will come in, which I knew. 71% Anthony Joshua, 29% Deontay Wilder. It's very clear. I still don't know how you can have 29%. I still don't know how anyone could think that Deontay Wilder has a better resume than Anthony Joshua, because mathematically, that's clearly not the case. Clearly not the case. I could do a cross-platform and share the numbers. It could break records. They could do. Do you think they will? I don't think so. I don't think BT and the Zone are going to be doing that thing. Is it possible? Maybe. Do you think they're going to go for it? Hell no. Frank Warren? Nah. He thinks he's the king. Frank Warren thinks he's the king. Frank Warren thinks that, but certainly Tyson Fury is not the economic king. Even though he's on the upswing, he's not the economic king. Between he and Anthony Joshua, it's clearly not the case. The numbers, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. King is Joshua still. I've heard on the same night, then a different event for both winners. Okay, yeah, I was just hearing different nights. Well, I think there was a presumption that it was going to be different nights. The king of Saudi can afford that. Well, it's not about what they can afford. It's like these people with lots of money, they don't just give it out. They ain't making it rain like Floyd Mayweather. They ain't making it rain like Floyd Mayweather. That's the mistake that Tyson Fury, the greedy belly made. That's the mistake the greedy belly made. He went over there. They said it themselves. The King Fahud's people representatives said it themselves. They said that the number that Greedy Belly was asking for, what he wanted, because they said they agreed a deal with Alexander Usyk. That deal was agreed. But the numbers that Tyson Fury wanted was more than the whole event would generate. I repeat, the number that Greedy Belly, aka Tyson Gypsy Queen Fury, was asking for was greater than the whole event would generate. That's how unrealistic that guy's mind is. He thought King Fahud was just gonna make it rain out of his own pocket. No, they're businessmen. It's still got to add up. It's still got to make financial sense. King Fahud ain't just shelling out money like that. He ain't gonna make it rain like that. He ain't no fool. He's rich, but he ain't no fool, you know? He's still got to make economic sense. And that's the mistake that Tyson Fury made, Greedy Belly made, and that's what scuppered the fight in Saudi Arabia with Alexander Usyk. Usyk had agreed his part of the deal with the Saudis. As been said before, they deal individually with fighters individually. You want this fight? Sure, sign there. This is the offer. Okay, cool. Usyk signed. The Greedy Belly did not. But King Fahud ain't gonna be doing that. He ain't gonna be doing that. Rematch clause, etc. Yeah, it's a long thing. A lot of moving parts. Wilder's record before that was much worse. He fought practically nobody. Absolutely. It's terrible. Bunch of cruiserweights. Disgraceful. In fact, his record is disgraceful. Let's be honest. Pre-Fury, it's just terrible. It's just terrible. I mean, his best opponent before that was an old Luis Ortiz. How you like that? How you like that? Usyk versus Dillian White. That would make no sense because Dillian White ain't got nothing. Usyk now's got mandatories. You know, it's got a list of mandatories. It's got plenty to be getting on with. One mandatory is Alexander. No, one mandatory is Filip Ergovic. Another mandatory is Zhilei Zhang. Who's the other mandatory? Is there another one? Has he got another Mando? Oh, yeah. Daniel Dubois. That's his next fight, Daniel Dubois. So he's got 3 mandatories lined up. Know what I mean? Know what I mean? Usyk has outclassed better boxers than White already. Usyk. Well, Anthony Joshua, who's he outclassed in the heavyweight division? Well, he's beat Anthony Joshua 2 times. Fought Chisora, went life and death with Chisora. But then Dillian White went life and death with Chisora. But he eventually pulled out, he won. Knocked out Chisora. Usyk couldn't do that. Yeah, but he did beat him in the end, got him in the end. But for a while there, Usyk looked extremely uncomfortable, was complaining to the referee. You gotta love the way Chisora took it to Usyk. You gotta love that. You'll never have him as pound for pound number 1. I don't have him as pound for pound number 1, but he's up there in the pound for pound rankings for sure. And he rates higher than Tyson Fury in the pound for pound rankings. You know, pound for pound, he's got less pounds than Fury. It's more difficult for a heavyweight to be a pound for pound on the pound for pound list. And the heavyweights like Fury, so it's very difficult. Very difficult. Frank Sanchez versus Jared Anderson would be a very good boxing match. It would be very interesting. I mean, Sanchez is clever, risk averse, bounces off the rope, leans out of the way, then comes back, bam. Very interesting. I say very interesting. Very good. Remains to be seen. Very interesting. Absolutamente. Zhilei Zhang versus Andreas the Punch Ruiz would be a good boxing match in China. I think so. I would agree with that. And Anthony Joshua's resume is far better than Deontay Wilder's, by far. I don't think there's any question about it. I mean, there's a poll. I know there's some people who say otherwise because there's a poll, but now it's gone back to more sensible levels. Who has the better resume? Anthony Joshua, 82%. Deontay Wilder, 18%. And I'm shocked that Deontay Wilder's got 18%. Get that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that share button. And by all means, there's a donation button. I'm going to start a membership thing soon. A couple of quid membership, bronze level, silver medal, maybe £3, gold level, maybe £4 a month. But how much is that? That's £1 a week. £1 a week. Is that unreasonable for the RDC? Is that unreasonable? Gold, silver, bronze level. What? £2? £2 a month? What's that? 50p a week? Something like that. That's bronze level. Silver level. What? £3 a week. Gold level. What's that? £4 a week? £4 a month, I mean. What's that? A pound a month? A pound a week? A pound a week for the RDC, huh? Tell me that's not worth it. £52 a year. Tell me that's not worth it for the RDC, huh? 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 Yeah, I think I'll have to start that because that then takes out the donation aspect, you know what I mean? That takes out the donation aspect. Boom. I think I'm gonna have to start that up. What's going on? What's going on? Respect to the Leon figures, absolutement. Absolutement. So there's no one in their right mind can look at the opposition, look at the resume and say that Deontay Wilder has a better resume. That's mathematically impossible for anyone to say, in my humble opinion. But I'm more than open to have a discussion about it. You know that. You know that. As a matter of fact, how rude of me. Let's drop the link in the chat once more. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Donating is optional. Okay, but we're gonna start the membership thing real soon. Real soon, like. Okay. Daniel Dubois versus Joseph Parker would be interesting. It would be interesting. Daniel Dubois, Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker coming off a knockout. So what's more interesting right now is Daniel Dubois versus Alexander Usyk. Does anyone think Daniel Dubois is going to win that? I feel thirsty. Daniel Dubois versus Joseph Parker. Yeah. Well, that'll be for the championship. That'll be for the unified championship if Dubois beats Usyk. OMG. OMG. Matter of fact, rat-tat-tat-tat. Get. What's this? Let's have a look at something here. Let me do what's called due diligence. Quick check. What's going on? Check 1, check 2, check 1, check 2. What's going on? Don't make me laugh. Don't make me laugh. You better sell for an autograph. Okay. That's funny. That's funny. I was just looking elsewhere, just checking up on something in the YouTube universe. The YouTube universe. What's this? What's that? What's this? What's that? Fury's handpicked every opponent. Usyk has done a lot more over 2 divisions. Oh, definitely. Fighting the best at cruiser and winning in their backyard. Trying to do the same at heavyweight. Yep, I wholeheartedly agree with that statement. Wholeheartedly. Frank Warren, British version of Don King. Hey, he's learned a few things off Don King. Believe you me. The way he just maneuvered with Zilly Zong just now. Yeah, come on over here, fight our guy, and if you win, you know, we'll sort you out. Come on over. It's funny when you wink with one eye, but it comes out on the wrong side, the other eye. Yeah. Gotta wink with this eye to make it be that one. Yeah, okay. Okay, because it's not, if I raise this hand, the left hand comes out, looks like it's the right hand. Or does it? I don't know. Confused? You will be. Okay. DW. Dillian White. What's going on here? What's going on here? What's going on here? Wilder has more heart and wouldn't be scared to throw punches. Hey, you're going to have more heart against lesser opponents, aren't you? You're going to have more heart against lesser opponents. Come on now. Come on now. It's just mathematics. It's just mathematics. What's going on? Dark Pennant likes. Well, TKO likes. What was the question? Josie Parker versus Daniel Dubois. Who wins? That's an interesting one. It's an interesting one. Joshua tried to box Usyk. Wilder would not try to box Usyk. I would still favor Usyk though. Yeah, I'd favor Usyk. Adari Pennant. Damn, how far back am I? Oh, tells you what time someone made the post. I just realized that. Huh. How interesting. What an active, what an active chat it has been tonight. Very active. But let me check on something. Let me check on something. Let me check on something. Okay. Boom. Bang, bang. Okay. Okay, I see. I see what's going on there. Okay, that's nice. That's nice. That's nice. Let me read a few more of these comments. But yeah, when I made a video about Ortiz being 50, certain people came at me. Some people came at me. And then they relented. A couple of years later, they were saying the same damn thing. Rafi came as a messenger. But they didn't want to hear. They didn't want to listen. They didn't want to listen to the messenger. They're listening now. They did not listen. They did not know how. Perhaps they listen now. Where'd you get them soothing tones? Where else? Where else on the web could you get them soothing tones? Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. In for the membership. There we go. We have to start that up quick. You know what I'm saying? So that's some guaranteed revenue for the RDCR. It's only a cup of coffee per month. Maybe a big latte per month, but hi. You know, Rafi don't ask for much. Rafi don't ask for much. Very reasonable. Very reasonable. Can't charge Rafi for treason. Dan Dubois is not seasoned enough to fight Alexander Usyk. I agree. What do you do? What would you do? What would you do if you were Daniel Dubois? Would you pass it up and say, no, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Give me a couple more years or give me another 18 months. Nah. You're going to jump in. You're going to take it. And even though I see very little chance of Daniel Dubois winning, hey, at least Usyk has got out of the grips of the big belly. At least he's got away from the big belly wasting his time, and now he can have a fight. It's a disgrace what Big Belly has done to Usyk, delaying. Usyk's waiting for the fight. Usyk's bending over backwards with a jar of Vaseline ready. You know? And then at the end, he just said, nah, you're taking the piss now. You are taking the... And next thing you know, quick, he's got our next fight lined up. Daniel Dubois. You know, so what the Big Belly did to Usyk, keeping him out of the ring. Remember, he fought Usyk last fought Joshua, and Joshua's fought again since. You know what I mean? It'll be a sparring session for Usyk versus Dubois. Well, yeah, it'll look like that. But what if Dubois takes it to him like Chisora did? Hey, don't write off that possibility. Just imagine Dubois digging in there. Just imagine. Do you think it's beyond the realms of possibility that Dubois could snap one of Usyk's ribs? I'm not wishing for that, but I'm just saying. Let's imagine if he really digs in, if he focuses on the body, and then boop boop upstairs. I got some ideas. I got some notions. Call me into camp, Dubois. I got some ideas. I know I heard you listen to the show. I heard it through the grapevine. Call me into camp. Just hear me out. Just get me in there once a week. Let me tell you some of my thoughts and observations. Go to the body. Boop boop. Head. You know what to do. You just watch Joyce lose to a southpaw. That's interesting, isn't it, folks? Daniel Dubois just watched Joyce lose to a southpaw. What do you think that's going to do? That's going to spur him on to become a scientist. To become a scientist when it comes to southpaws. Yeah, look at it scientifically. Look at it mathematically. You know, I got a whole book on that topic, subject. Head movement is a problem for Dubois. If he can't avoid Joyce's jab, can't avoid any punch Usyk has in his arsenal. Speed kills. That's a damn good point. But, you know, Daniel Dubois is young. And one thing we know about the young is they absorb information quickly. So is it beyond the realms of possibility that Daniel Dubois, especially having seen what happened to the guy who bested him, Joyce, is it beyond the realms of possibility that Daniel Dubois could soak up the knowledge? Who's his trainer? Shane McGuigan. I think he's in good hands. Daniel Dubois, I put it to you, ladies and gentlemen of the RDCR jury, that Daniel Dubois is in very good hands. Very good hands. And he's young. That means he has the capability to soak up information. You could counter arguments. He hasn't done it yet, Raf, has he? Well, what the hell? What the hell's that all about? Okay. Rafi multitasking. Who says men can't multitask? He's a damn liar. Okay. Well, let us move on. Let us move on. Rafi, I'll rewatch this in the next couple of hours. I'll try and add a little color for you in the chats. It'll let me do it. If it'll let me do it as it's not live, it'll still let you do it, my friend. That's a very good point raised by the TKO. How does it work now? There will be a heart. And your options. Where's my phone? There'll be a heart in the options underneath the title. You will see a heart. You can click on that heart. After this thing's no longer live, you can click on that heart. And it will allow you to donate a little something. But Rafi's lacking. Rafi's slacking because, you know, a lot of channels who came after the Rafi. You know, they've got the membership thing going, you know, but Rafi, you know, I would have preferred it came through donations, but since it ain't gonna come that way, that's slowed down. And we're just going to have to go straight for the membership thing. That's a guaranteed couple of quid. That's a guaranteed coffee from each of you to the Rafi each month. It's a cup of coffee for the Rafi. Maybe a latte. Maybe a large latte for the gold standard. But we will have bronze silver, and gold. All will be very economical, unless you're homeless. If you're homeless, then you may wish to refrain, understandably so. Okay, let's keep on going down the list until we do this. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's a good point. Ruiz is good at countering taller fighters. However, he's not effective at countering a southpaw in Luis Ortiz. Therefore, I would pick Zhang. That's interesting. That's interesting. We're on the flip side of that. That's a good argument. The opposing argument is that Zhang's gas tank is not very large. He hasn't got a large gas tank, and therefore the concern would be, how does Zhang do in the second half of the fight? He started blowing during this fight. You know what I mean? Started blowing in the Joyce fight. And now he lasted 6 rounds. So, you know, you have to be concerned about his gas tank, the gas tank of Zhilei Zhang. And that's why Fury probably beats him, just through the gas tank. It'll be good. I think he'll be good up to round 5. Fury might put a pace on him. Could be good up to round 6. Fury might put a pace on him. It'd be very interesting, that's for sure. Even after that lacking performance in his last bout, Dubois may be in good hands. Are they good enough for him to get the belt? Well, highly unlikely. It's highly unlikely that Dubois gets the belt. Highly unlikely. But you know, what's more exciting than an upset? What was more exciting? How exciting was that Joyce versus Zhilei Zhang? Zhilei Zhang. Apparently, that's the correct pronunciation. Zhilei Zhang. So yeah, it's highly unlikely, Leon. But what a challenge! What a challenge that stands before. What a challenge that stands before Dubois at a young age. Getting to fight a pound for pound heavyweight. Because you know, to be heavyweight and be up there on the pound for pound rankings, that takes some doing. So what a privilege it will be for Daniel Dubois and his trainer, especially his trainer. He must be rubbing his hands together. It's a chance to shine. Ishmael Salash did not shine. Shane McGuigan will be hoping to do a better job at getting the man in his charge to put in a good performance. What has he got to lose? What does Daniel Dubois stroke Shane McGuigan, what they got to lose? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Yeah, don't worry, my friend. They're all in good time. All in good time. Hey, you need a broadcast license, Adari. You need your broadcast license. What if Daniel Dubois uses the cross-arm guard against Alexander Usyk? Well, I would imagine Usyk would go downstairs. What do I reckon? Dubois. Okay, you're asking me the keys to a Dubois victory. Keys to Dubois victory, obviously, do all the things you need to do against the southpaw. Do all the things you need to do against the southpaw. You know the list. Keep your lead foot on the outside of their lead foot. Particularly when you're shooting, when you're firing shots. Move to the left, your left, away from their left. And implement. I've given clues during this broadcast. I've given clues about what to do against the southpaw. One of the things that Southpaws do, I ain't heard nobody talking about it. But one of the things that Southpaws do is that they use their backhand more frequently than the orthodox fighter. Shane McGuigan, are you listening to me? Let your man be aware that the Southpaw uses their backhand more than the orthodox fighters. Why do they do that? Holy guacamole. Holy guacamole. Maybe let's get the membership thing going before I give out all the jewels. You know what I mean? The red-gloved militant is up in the building. Yes. How do you do, Red Glove? Good to have you up in here. Okay. What Daniel Dubois should do, I'll give you one clue. I'm not going to give you the whole recipe. I'll give you one clue. Do all the things that you're supposed to do, the fundamentals against the southpaw. But key thing, use the backhand more regularly. I ain't heard nobody touch on it, but the southpaws use the backhand percentage-wise more frequently than the orthodox fighters. What happens when the orthodox fighter correctly positions themselves and they use their backhand more frequently as if they were southpaws? I tell you what happens. The orthodox fighter, the southpaw gets touched up more than they typically do against an orthodox fighter. Come on now. Yep. Still prefer the DC Combat Radio Nation. 100%. Dubois could land one for the win, obviously, but Usyk is good at taking the sting out of his opponent's punches, making them rest, and even doubt what they are trying to do. Yeah. But the thing to remember about Usyk is that he's a high-level points fighter, and he's been doing it for decades. But he's still a high-level points fighter. I think Derek Chisora showed a blueprint of how to make Alexander Usyk uncomfortable. Take it to him, take it to his body, get him close, cut off the range, stifle him, get him up, get him in an arm lock, crack the ribs. Crack him in the ribs. Easier said than done, yes, I know. But get the fundamentals right, and that opens the door of many possibilities. Yeah? Opportunity knocks. What's going on here? Very good, my friend. Very good. I've lived to see another blessed day, another blessed season. I'm blessed. You know? Yeah. Take some time out, folks, just to give thanks and praises. Count your blessings. Yeah. And everyone, smash that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that share button. How long's this poll been up? Okay, I'm going to leave the poll up for another couple of minutes before I close this down as we cruise in for a smooth landing. Okay, anybody who hasn't voted in the poll, please kindly do so. Hit that like button too. Dari Pennant writes, Raphael Dawkins, you are a very smart man and intelligent too. Thank you very much, sir. That's very kind of you. Like, subscribe, comment, share, notifications still on. That's the ingredients. I think we've gone through this damn thing pretty comprehensively. Is there anything else I want to touch on? What's going on? What's going on over the weekend? What's going on? Oh yeah, I know. I'm gonna close that poll now and bring up another poll. Real smooth like. Let's end the poll. So I got another one in mind. Real quick one. Okay, so the results of the poll are in the chat. You can read that at your leisure while the Rafi comes up with another poll for your delectation. Who wins as we bring this thing in? Who wins? What's this? Who wins? Question mark. I'm speaking this aloud. I'll let you see it when it comes up. Okay. I'm reloaded. Okay, so the poll is there for your delectation and participation. Who wins? Ryan Garcia or Tank Davis? As you will know, that fight is... Let's get the thing up. Let me show you. Where are we? It's okay, so the poll was, who has a better resume, Anthony Joshua or Deontay Wilder? Deontay Wilder came second in the vote with 14%, and Anthony Joshua first with 85%. Yeah, you guessed it. Philip Carl Roberts. Ryan Garcia for me says a TKO, 20-2. Okay. 1 minute to go. 2 votes. Get your votes in, folks, because we're bringing this thing into land. Me too, but it's a good one. Would not bet my house on either fighter. I want to give my opinion right now. Yeah. Well, there's more. It could also have been. What's the other fight? Am I not sharing this? Oh, I'm not sharing. Okay. Well, allow me to share. What am I doing? What's going on there? What's going on? There's one that's flown under the radar. And that is flown under the radar, but Martin Bakoli from Congo is also fighting over there in Poland. Who's the road warrior now? I put it to you that Martin Bakoli is steadily gaining experience, which may very well stand him, experience on the road, which may very well stand him in good stead going into the future. because it looks like Martin Bacoli may become one of the top cats. Top Cat, remember Top Cat? Top Cat, unmistakable Top Cat, the unmistakable leader of the game. He's the point, he's the championship. He's the one tipped up, Top Cat. Remember that? Remember that? Are you impressed with the Raffies? The tone? Impressed with the tone of the Raffi? Martin Bacoli there, number 13. Can you even see that? Am I even showing that? No, wasn't showing that. Bacoli on the Babbitt. Oh, is that the Babbitt card? Is that so? I didn't realize that was the Babbitt card. What's going on here? Is that old Alan Babbitt? Oh, that's on the Babbitt card. Okay. That's okay. I didn't know that. Arena, the what? G2A Arena, Rizal, Poland. Okay. So if that's on the Babbitt card, then that makes, I didn't think I was going to watch the Babbitt card, but if that's on the Babbitt card, then yeah, and then that might, that. Yeah, okay, it's on the Babbitt card for real. Okay, well, I guess I'll watch that then. Babbitt Kizikale waiting to happen. This Bridgerweight division BS needs to stop. They're still carrying on with it. The WBC still persisting with that. They're still persisting with that. Does anyone think that? No, I didn't even know they were persistent. I didn't think they were persistent. I never seen this show guy before. I would expect it to be a comprehensive win for Bacoli. I don't know the cat. I don't know that cat, so I don't know. He might be one of the. He might be similar to the guy that Itamu fought on Saturday on the Joyce Zhang undercard. And how rude of us not to give a shout out to Denzel, what's his surname again? Denzel Cat. Always go to say Denzel Washington, but it ain't Denzel Washington. It ain't. I know it ain't. It's Denzel something. I keep on Bentley. Denzel Bentley stopped his opponent in a few seconds. And now he gets to keep his Lonsdale belt outright. So that's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. What's going on with the poll? Get your responses into the poll. ASAP Rocky. As a matter of fact, rat-a-tat-tat, because we're going to close the poll down in a minute or so. But there's something I need to do beforehand. Something I need to do before I do that. Can I do it? Oh no, I was pressing the wrong button. Thought there was a equipment malfunction for a moment. But no, fear not. What's going on here? What's going on? Okay, let's do this. Uh-oh. What's going on? Okay. So I'm going to close that poll. I'm going to close down that poll now. Well, am I going to close it now? Or do I leave it up for a few more seconds? Yeah, I might as well leave it up for a few seconds. Close it down at the very end. Once this year, he was a tough nut, to be fair. Itamu tried to kill him. Yeah, so it could be another tough nut. Could be another tough nut. Itamu, I like Itamu. He's been boxing now since he was 10 years old. I like that. I like start him young. Start him young. There's a lot of things that he's fluid with. There are a lot of older fighters still struggling with certain movements, certain combinations, certain understanding that he appears to have that a lot of older fighters struggle with. So, yeah, definitely one to watch in the future. Yeah, this cat that Macaulay is fighting might be another one of that ilk. Just real, what do you call it? Sturdy, built to last, built for the task. Denzel Bentley KO was impressive. It most certainly was. I'm kind of tempted to bring it up to round out the show. Do what man know. What do I think about this Davis thing? I think that Davis is going to knock out Ryan Garcia. I think what Davis should do is kill him to the body, go to the body, kill him to the body. I always believe in that, though. Kill the body and the head will fall. I don't know. A lot of latter-day boxers don't go to the body as much as the boxers of yesteryear. Yeah, the boxers of the past. They don't go to the body as much. I don't understand. Linear Pero fights Igor Shevadushki in the amateur super heavyweight. Igor Sorilusi. I speak to him before. You've spoken to him before on Instagram. That's good stuff. Good going. WBC Bridgeweight. Yeah, they just brought it in a year ago or so. Bit of a nonsense. I don't know. Hey, what would we saying in 10 years' time? Will it still exist? I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Let's bring this down. So, yeah, I think that, what do you call him? Tank Davis. He's a more dynamic fighter. Ryan Garcia, longer, rangier. But what's the stats? What's the stats on them two cats? I'm pretty sure that Ryan Garcia, let's have a look. Active fighters. Submit. Let's have a look at King Rai. Let's have a look at his knockout percentage. Oh, it's quite high. It's 82. King Rai's knockout percentage is 82. Let me bring it up. Let me bring it up for y'all. King Rai. You see that? A little bit small for y'all. Small for y'all. King Rai. 82, 23 fights. When did his career start? Professional career start. When did that start? Let's have a look. Fort Edgar Meza. It's got a ring to it, that name. At the Rancho Grande Bar, Tijuana. Rancho Grande Bar, Tijuana. You got the lap dancing over there. You got the pole dancing over there, or the boxing over there, and the mariachi band behind you. That was in 2016. You got some super stretch premium cotton trousers there from 17. What? 170. What the hell is this? What kind of website is this? £179 for a pair of pants? Does the belt come with it at least? Dang. Yeah, I ain't buying them anyway. That was 2016. Was that June? 2016. Okay. And what is this? What is this palaver? What, women's cricket? Is that a man? Oh, that's a woman. Okay. What is that? What is that? Oh, it's women. Okay. Well, get out of here. Kill the noise. 23 wins, 0 losses, 0 draws. Okay. 23 wins, 19 via KO. That's an 82%. 82.6% KO ratio. He's 5 foot tall, 5'10", with a 70-inch reach. And of course, that's what's this going on here? Get out of here. He's fighting Gervonta Davis at T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas. Okay. Now, let's have a look when this cat's career started. 2013. Okay, so he's got 3 years on him. 3 years on him. 28 wins. How much did 23? Okay, 28 to 23. Okay, so 5 more fights in those 3 years. So okay. Was he been fighting any bars in Tijuana? No. DC Amory, the DC Amory Show Palace Arena, Upper Marlboro, and the Echo Stage Lounge. It's a lounge. Is it really a lounge? Coppin State University, Baltimore. I know's a girl that you don't know, Little Liza Jane. Way down south in Baltimore, Little Liza Jane. Those old spirituals. They used to make us sing that shizzle in school, you know. Can you believe it? Singing songs about Baltimore in English school. What the? Old spirituals. Used to have people singing them in the fields. Okay, so they all started off in them little small places, little small lounges, tequila bars and whatnot, and slightly better knockout ratio. 5-star rating on BoxRec is Gervonta Davis. 5-star rating on BoxRec is King Rye. Remember, he had a breakdown a little while ago. Hopefully, his head's back in the right place. Let's have a look. I'm going with Gervonta Davis, the knockout guy, the knockout kid. But I'm in a minority over here. I'm in a minority. So I wonder who the betting favorite is. Who's the betting favorite? I imagine I don't know. So we have a look. Who is the betting favorite? Who's the betting favorite? Tank Davis. Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia. The former is notably favored over the latter in the Davis Garcia betting odds, priced at minus 270. Okay, so Gervonta Davis is the favorite over King Rye. Okay, well, we're going to have to see how that works out. What's going on over here? Okay, somebody else voted. Somebody else voted. What's this? What's the question about the final round? Oh, Oh yeah. Yeah, Oscar Rivas and Rizik. Yeah, it cut out. That was hilarious. That was hilarious. That was not good. It was not good, but it was funny. Not good, but it was funny. What's this here? Jilly Zhang versus Oscar Rivas. I'll go with Jilly Zhang. Oscar is quite small. Hold on. Is Oscar a southpaw as well? That's an interesting question, isn't it? Very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah. I'll go with Jilly Zhang. Pull him around the ring. Yeah. What happens when he runs out of steam, though? What happens when Zilly Zhang runs out of steam? It's a big question. It's an interesting question. Okay, let's bring that down. I think we've had a very comprehensive night of boxing talk. I don't know if there's anything left to say. We're approaching the midnight hour. I'm gonna wait till the midnight hour. You know, the Rafi likes to be out of here by then. Rafi like to be out of here by then, but this is a nice way to finish off, perhaps. Nice way to finish off. Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder. Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder in negotiations for Saudi Arabia fight confirms. Malik Scott. Yeah. Could have fought him years ago. People like the greedy belly, Tyson Fury, man like Deontay Wilder, them are cherry pickers extraordinaire. And it's ironic. Isn't it ironic that after all the cherry picking, after all the cherries have been picked, after all the cherries have been picked, you still got Deontay Wilder up there in a lot of the rankings at number 3. I hadn't want to fight. I'd been knocked out 2 times in the last 2 years. Only had 1 win. Only had 1 win in the last 3 years. Got knocked out 2 times for his trouble. 2 times, not 1 time, but 2 times. Cherry picker extraordinaire. And yet somehow Deontay Wilder. Cherry picker extraordinaire, and yet somehow. Let me just remind myself. Robert Helenius, win, KO. Tyson Fury, 2020, that's in 2022. 2021, gets knocked out by Tyson Fury. 2020, TKO'd by Tyson Fury. And the fight before that in 2019 was a win. 7th round KO of Luis Ortiz. That's 2019, 2020. No, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. In 4 years, he's been knocked out twice. Knocked out Old Man Ortiz and Mr. Average Robert Helenius. So he's got 2 knockouts and been knocked out twice. And he's still in the top 3 in 4 years. In 4 years. If that ain't a disgrace, then I don't know what is. Should be made years ago. now it seems like the Conte Wilder was all about the Monet, because now the money's big. He's all over it, but the money was big before with the zone offer. He walked away. Foolish. Man's walked away from undisputed. Disgraceful. Utterly disgraceful. Walked away from 100 million for 3 fights. 2 with Joshua. I was going to throw him 20 million to fight Breezel. Makes me laugh when some of these comedic channels over the pond talk about, and that's the only place they say it, over the pond. Some of these comedy channels over the pond talk about, oh, yeah, Deontay got in excess of 20 million for the Breezel fight. Fools! You fools! The bells, Esmeralda, the bells, you fools. The zone offered to pay him 20 million. Nobody else did. Showtime said we can't match that. Steven Espinosa says we can't match that, but we have loyalty. So if they paid him 10 million, that would be the max, and I doubt they paid him that much. And he talked about loyalty, and immediately after that fight, the Conte Wilder dipped. Dipped out. So where was the loyalty there? Where was the loyalty there? It's crazy, yo. Shizzly's crazy, yo. But you know what? Hey, at least things are going on. At least some of these cherry pickers, the 2 biggest cherry pickers in the division, at least they might move now. You know, give them a good kick in the nuts, which they deserve. Get them to move. You know what I mean? That's what you have to do sometimes. Give them a good kick in the nuts. You have to move like a big ox, big old ox. Move, do something, fight somebody. Your cherry picking is out to damn control. But you know what? I think we've done it. How long we've been on? Long time. Long time. We're gonna have to bring the membership thing in so you can contribute a cup of coffee to the Rafi monthly. Because we ain't really getting any color in the chat no more. So yeah, perhaps that's the best thing to do. I'll have to expedite that plan on the quick fast. You know what I'm saying? Because appreciation is a must. Bus. Okay, folks. So that's it. Hold on, let me close this poll. Oh my God, that's a shocker. That's a shocker. So one time, it looked like we're going to have a very lopsided poll, but some people came in and the thing got redeemed. Where are we? There we are. I sorted out one time. It was 100-0. Everybody was saying that Ryan Garcia was going to win, but the odds are there for a reason. Tank Davis, he's been in the game for 3 years longer. He is the better knockout guy. And I think the fight's going to end with a knockout. I hope it ends in a knockout. Me, I'm going with the better knockout guy. He's shorter in dimension, so Garcia's going to have the reach advantage for sure. But, you know, sometimes a shorter guy, he's been the shorter guy all his life, and he's been fighting as the shorter guy all his life. I'm looking forward to this fight. Unfortunately for us, it's going to be 5 a.m. in the morning over here in the UK, and I ain't going to mash myself up for that. You stay up, you're going to stay up, what, till 6 a.m.? Nah, then you're mashed up for work the next day. Forget that. Well, not the Sunday, but the day after, which is the Monday. Yeah, you still mash up. Nah, I ain't doing it. I'll catch it on Sunday morning when I wake up. When I wake up. Yep, 50-50. Great show, Rafi, panel, chat. on DC on Nation. Stay blessed. Have a good one, everyone. Truth is somewhere in the middle. Yeah, damn, 50-50. How you like them apples? How you like them apples? Okay, folks, covered a lot of stuff. It's been a long one for the Rafi. You know, the Rafi like to dip in and dip out. You know what I mean? Get it out there and dip out. But we got some good guests on today. The Iron Kong, of course, 26, all lowercase. The Leon Figures makes a reappearance, which is good to see him, good to hear from him again. He's in the chat often, of course, but good to get him on the panel. And of course, Mr. Ali Bashir, just randomly, you know, I just happened to get a call from him directly as I'd started the show. So we'll jump on over onto the show. He's driving at the time, so could not do so, but definitely good of him to share his thoughts. Good of him to share his thoughts with us live. Enjoyed the show very much. Much appreciation. Great show. Respect to everyone. Stay safe. Our debating done on that Joyce Zhang fight 100%. 100%. Yeah, very much enjoyable. And just like the Joyce v. Zhang fight, time flew. Seems like we're on 2-minute rounds. 2-minute rounds. Let's have a look. Yeah, is there anything else left for me to say? Well, other than look forward, you're gonna get the membership crunk. Buy the Rafi a cup of coffee per month, less than £1 per month per week. I think. I don't think anybody could argue with that. Surely not. So we're gonna get that crunk ASAP, Ricky. Keep the conversation going, keep the debates going. Lots to talk about, but not now. It's bedtime now. Rafi gonna get a little bedtime snack. I'll eat a little bit of chicken. I have a little chicken leg. I'm gonna go for the leg or the breast. Is the Rafi gonna go for the leg or the breast? That's the only question. That's the last question of the night. The leg or the breast. Something to ponder on. Yeah, well, it's too early. That's no good. I ain't gonna be lingering around on my computer all night. I do a video on it if it ain't convenient. But hey, we'll work that out. But I want to leave you with the question: the leg or the breast? Ponder that. It's Raphael Dawkins. It's the Combat Radio. It's the like. It's the subscribe. It's the comments. It's the shares. And it's the hitting the bell icon in order to stay up to date with notifications. Using notifications. And that's it. I think we've done it. Okay. It's Raphael Dawkins. It's the Combat Radio. And we are out. Yeah. Want to have a double nibble. Blessed.